Hey everybody, welcome to Mixed Signals. This is the weekly podcast where we talk about music usually on the Red Show, and then you're tuned into the Blue Show. This is the off-topic one where we just talk about whatever is happening in the world. If you like that, you can subscribe, hit that red button up above, drop a comment down below because we love when people join the conversation. I'm your host, Devontae Chisholm, joined as always by Mark Lee and Israel Sanchez. And speaking of Israel Sanchez, he just got back from his first trip ever. He left New Jersey. How was it?
It was good, but it wasn't my first trip ever, though.
That's bullshit. This is his first trip ever. It was
my first trip driving somewhere.
He's only seen New Jersey and Florida, and now he has other states under his belt. What's your favorite East Coast state?
Not Virginia. Fuck that state. Yeah. That state was literally 6 hours to drive through. Never again.
Did you? So you went from Virginia and then you went.
So we did
west.
So it was Jersey, PA.
Yeah.
We were in West Virginia for 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Maryland.
West Virginia's small. Maryland.
Maryland, West Virginia. Virginia was 6 hours.
Yeah.
Then Tennessee, and then Georgia. And then when we got to Georgia, I took an hour nap, and then we drove down to New Orleans, which was 7 hours. Mm-hmm. So that way we cut through Alabama.
On the way back, did you ever go through the Carolinas? That's what I want to know.
No, because I was not playing that game.
That's when you'll switch it from fuck Virginia to I hate the Carolinas, because those in my journeys down to Florida, those have been the states that's just like, yo, are we out of them yet? Are we out of North Carolina yet? No. All right. Are we at? No. Okay, cool. Finally, South Carolina. Yes. Are we out of it yet? No. All right. I'll just be over here.
Yeah, it was 6 hours, bro.
Yeah. Virginia's
along the coast of Virginia.
Yeah.
On the edge of Virginia.
Yeah. All of these states are in the game.
Banks, what do they call it?
Is it called the Outer Banks? I guess.
Isn't that like OBX? You see people's back of their SUVs, see OBX?
I never knew what that meant.
Yeah,
I was seeing it too, but I never knew what that meant. While we're on the subject, since you just heard a mysterious voice behind the camera, I want to let all of you know, before we jump into the first topic, is that this episode is brought to you by Third Tribe Studio here in Solo's Art House on 972 Broad Street in Newark, New Jersey. This is a recording studio and rehearsal space for artists of all genres, and it is the perfect space for like-minded musicians to come and network. So go down to the description into the show notes and hit these guys up to come here and make some beautiful music. I'm gonna have a new voice every time I say it. It's gonna be a variation of that same voice every single time I say it. So first, I feel like we have a lot to unpack here, but maybe not. Maybe that's just all in my head. But we're gonna start with Bill Maher being under fire for his racial slur. Bill Maher said the N-word, and I'm gonna say it right now because I'm gonna read the quote, but I think it's allowed. I think it's okay. During an interview with Nebraska Senator Ben Sasse? I meant to look up how that's pronounced.
Sasse?
Sass, I think. I think the E silent.
During an interview with Nebraska Senator Ben Sasse, the politician invited Maher to the state saying, "We'd love to have you work in the fields with us." Maher responded with, "Work in the fields? Senator, I'm a house nigger." He got a lot of heat for saying that live on his show, Real Time with Bill Maher. And the next morning, HBO issued a statement saying, Bill Maher's statement last night was completely inexcusable and tasteless. We are removing his deeply offensive comments from any subsequent airings of the show. And that they did. They completely chopped that part off of it. And Maher's response was, "Friday nights are always my worst night of sleep because I'm up reflecting on the things I should or shouldn't have said on my live show. Last night was a particularly long night as I regret the word I used in the banter of a live moment. The word was offensive and I regret saying it, and I'm very sorry." Should he be? as a comedian, should he be very sorry?
Yes, he definitely should be very sorry.
Okay.
Because I feel like, sure, it was an off-the-cuff joke, but at the same time, like, it was racially insensitive.
Yeah.
And I feel like you can't just use the comedian blanket to just cover it.
Now, are you saying that because he's white?
No, if he was a black comedian, it would have been racially insensitive as well.
Because I feel like this, if we took this situation, and put it in a sketch on the Chappelle Show, it would have been fine.
I think in this case,
Well, I mean, yeah, but go ahead.
I think it's all comes down to the setting because he was on a live show on national television. That's what made it all the more worse.
And that has an image.
And that has an image.
Like Chappelle Show, we know what we're getting into.
Exactly. This was more just him, like, conversation and all that stuff.
With an actual senator, a piece of the
government.
government.
Like an actual government like, employee.
Wasn't an actor pretending to be a senator.
When people are mad at it's not the fact that it is the fact that he said it. It's the fact that he felt so comfortable to say it.
Okay.
Oh,
The
way he delivered it.
That is a point, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, if he says it just... Because that wasn't supposed to be there. Like, he wasn't supposed to say that.
Well, yeah. Just
like,
improv. That was just him,
improv.
Yeah.
So, like, if he's just saying... If this is the first thing that comes to his mind in improv, does he say it around his friends? Like, does he say it in his everyday vocabulary? So it's like...
Yeah.
I mean, and granted, I love Bill Maher. I'm a Bill Maher fan.
Yep.
I love his documentary, Religulous. Bill Maher is great. But I feel like the black community in general, they've given him too much of a pass. I mean, of course, he invites people of all races and genders and what's the word I'm looking for?
Creeds?
Not creeds.
That's usually the
people of all minority groups onto the show. He gives them a platform to speak, and that's what I love about him. But you gotta call a spade a spade. You gotta, like, it was insensitive. It was tasteless. It was classless. They have to be called out for it.
Yeah. Some a YouTube channel that I was watching, I was talking about this, and I'm sorry, I forget the name of your channel, or I'd shout you out right now. But they were making the point of how he didn't have to go that far. You know, you shouldn't assume that your audience is dumb. You know, he could have said the same thing he said and just work in the fields and just kind of stop there because the crowd erupted already. They were laughing already. You didn't have to go to the next part.
Yeah.
And then to push it even further, if you do want to push it further past work in the fields, your joke could have been, Senator, no, I take people's coats and I sip lemonade and I'm just in the house. He didn't have to say.
He could have insinuated all the same things
yeah.
instead of putting it into one blanket
Yep.
term that's been used to oppress people for like centuries. Yeah.
So, quote from Chance the Rapper after it happened, he tweeted, "Please HBO do not air another episode of Real Time with Bill Maher." Killer Mike was reached out to by TMZ Live, and he said, quote, "I would have punched Bill in his stomach and said you sound stupid, and then we would have smoked the joint after." He goes on to say how, because that's what you do in middle school or something like that. Like you have your white friend who's just really comfortable and all of a sudden he says it, you punch him, and then it's just like, don't do that again, ha ha ha, and then you guys are friends the next day. He says, so Killer Mike says he's still cool with Bill Maher, it's just he would have had to check him. Al Sharpton, I think, made a pretty decent point, even though, as we spoke before the show, you said you don't care about Al Sharpton's opinions. Neither do I, because I feel like he's just kind of only there when
Whenever,
it's convenient for him. When something
exactly.
happens and he's just like, this could give me attention, this is publicity, I need to speak on this. Black rights, black rights. He said, and I'm paraphrasing here, but he said that, earlier in that week, or I think it was just a day before, someone had spray painted LeBron's LA home with that slur.
Yeah.
In that, so it's the same city. And now Bill Maher says it live on air, but one is okay and one isn't. One is the excuses are being made, oh, it was a joke for Bill. But if we're doing that for Bill, why don't we just put that label on the person who vandalized LeBron's house? Oh, maybe he was just joking. He spray painted that there because it was just all a game.
And I get what Al Sharpton was saying, but I completely disagree.
Okay.
Why? Because when that guy spray painted the N-word on LeBron James' house, he was physically calling him that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And this
Bill Maher
wasn't
wasn't calling anybody.
Yeah, it
was
wasn't
calling
directing
himself,
towards
yeah.
anybody.
Well, he's directing it towards himself.
He was directing it towards himself.
Yeah.
He didn't say the N-word in a mean or malicious way.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What Bill Maher was basically doing, which was the racially insensitive part, is taking the one part of what a house N-word means and putting it connotatively with just meaning that, oh, I just don't go outside.
Yeah.
No, that's not what a house N-word really did. He's simplifying it. So that's kind of what the difference was. It's like that's kind of why people are so mad at Bill Maher.
Yeah.
But it's not the exact same thing as the guy that sprayed the N-word on LeBron James's house.
Yeah.
He physically meant to do LeBron James some kind of emotional harm.
Mm-hmm.
And it's property damage,
yeah,
too.
he had a message to get across. Jumping back into it, U.S. Senator Al Franken of Minnesota has canceled his appearance on Real Time, but Ice Cube, however, did not cancel his appearance and is set to appear on Real Time on Friday, June 9th, which is tomorrow, but for you guys seeing it, it already happened. The release date of his re-release of the 1991 classic Death Certificate, home of one of the best diss tracks out there, No Vaseline. Woo. Ice Cube is not on Bill's side either, stating liberals can be just as racist as conservative, and get this, but everybody needs to check theyself before they wreck theyself. Way to ruin your serious statement, Ice Cube, by quoting one of your own songs. As I was with you for a second, and then you just completely screwed it up. I mean, Ice Cube had a lot more quotes and things to say, and I'm sure he's gonna say a lot more tomorrow night for us. Tomorrow night, once he's on the show, and I might actually tune in. This might be the first real time that I actually tune in for. The only time I've ever watched Bill Maher was on Family Guy when Brian was on it. That was the only time I was exposed to his type of programming. Now, Ice Cube was scheduled to be on the show before this even happened, because, like I said, it's to talk about his the re-release of Death Certificate, 25th anniversary. How do you think tomorrow night's gonna go down? And for all you in the future, congratulations to you. You already know how it goes down, but we're gonna predict right now. Drop in the comments if we were correct.
I feel like it's probably gonna get into the N-word debate again. I mean, sure, Bill knows he shouldn't say it, but it's like, Ice Cube's gonna be a show. Ice Cube's gonna be at the show. What was Ice Cube a part of?
NWA.
Yeah,
So
it's interesting, just the message behind like Death Certificate, things that he's talking about on his albums throughout his whole career, pretty much, have to do with things like that. And I feel like, do you think he's gonna yell, or is it gonna be a screaming match? Are we gonna get like typical Ice Cube, or is he gonna be calm about it?
Are we there yet, Ice Cube? Or 22 Jump Street Ice Cube?
or Triple X Ice Cube.
Well, I didn't see that, so.
It was
I saw a fist fight yesterday, though.
Was it good?
I mean, it was alright. He's the same Ice Cube, just yelling.
He's just himself at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know which one we're gonna get. I definitely don't think. I don't think Bill Maher should be fired. I don't think he should lose.
Okay. Yeah, me neither. I don't think he should.
Does Ice Cube really have a right to really come at Bill Maher like that when your name of the group that you were in, a prominent hip hop group, was NWA?
Yeah.
You think so?
I think so. Just going off.
I guess because of the connotation that it was used.
Yeah, and what they stood for and things like that. I think it's fine. Because even going back and listening to that and listening to No Vaseline again before the show, he says that in that song. He calls either Dre or Eazy-E, one of those. He calls them a house nigger. He says it in the song. So it's interesting to see that. He's gonna be on the show saying, "Hey, you shouldn't say that." But 25 years ago, I was saying it, but don't be like me.
Yeah, don't be like me.
I was mad at them. There's a difference. I can say it because I was mad. But I guess we'll see. And as I keep saying, you guys already know. So congratulations to you, and congratulations to you, Mark. Because I'm gonna tune in. What time does it come on?
Well, I usually just watch the
You
the
suck.
live
You
version.
you
Watch
suck.
it live watch it live on YouTube. He live streams it.
Oh, okay.
It's next though.
Because I thought you were gonna
It's
say
like, fuck
like.
you. No, you watch it after.
I thought you were
suck.
gonna say like you watch it after, like the next day or something.
He
Yeah.
live streams it.
Cause what time? That was my question. You didn't have to be like, nah, I watch it when he live streams.
I
No
think it's
shit.
like-
What time
I
though?
think it's like 9, like 8:30.
I'll look it up myself. You're an unreliable source. God damn it. All right. We're going to move on to the second topic here. We already told you about our first sponsor. Our second sponsor is Canada Dry. They don't really sponsor us, but if they could, and they could give me cases of this seltzer water that I've become addicted to, that would be amazing.
Or ginger ale.
Or ginger ale.
Like something that
ginger
actually has
ale.
flavor.
They have
does
flavored
have
ones.
flavored
This one
ones,
doesn't.
yeah.
All right, this one doesn't. But they have flavored seltzer ones.
Bro, that shit makes me throw up. Like if I ever want to throw up, I just drink a can and bleh, like immediately.
Oh, seltzer water or
Hell
can
yeah.
it? Wow. All right.
Seltzer water, bro.
All right. Never mind then. No sponsorship then. Have you ever had their green tea? Do you even like green tea?
I've never had green tea in my life.
What?
Yeah, I've never had it.
Like just
Like, not even
any
Arizona
kind.
green
Yeah, I was
tea?
about to say like even Arizona.
I have had like the ginseng Arizona green tea.
All right.
Does it taste like that though?
What?
Like the Canada Dry's, like
A little bit. Like you get it's because it's Canada Dry mixed with like with green tea. So it's ginger
is it
ale
good?
green tea. Yeah, really good. Gotta look for it.
Oh, I'm lying. I've had it.
See, there you go.
I've had. You know who gave it to me? David.
Oh,
With,
word?
what's that shit he drinks all the time?
Wait, gave it to you with alcohol?
Yeah.
With Jameson?
Yeah.
That sounds
Bro,
good.
it's so good.
Drink responsibly, kids.
That and he
We're
gave
all
it
over
with,
21.
With honey. There's also honey ginger ale with Jameson. Woo!
Oh, what brand?
Woo! Canada Dry, bro.
Honey.
Yeah.
All right, we'll
So
discuss
good.
that after the show. Next topic. Kathy Griffin, Beheads, Donald Trump.
Ooh.
On May 30th, I think this is the date that it happened. I've been looking forever, but there's so many other articles on how sad she is now, and there's no articles on when the damn thing actually happened, but I think it's May 30th. Can you confirm?
Nope.
On May 30th, 2017, comedian Kathy Griffin and photographer Tyler Shields released photos of Griffin holding a fake severed head of the current and almighty president, Donald Trump. Since then, Griffin has been fired from CNN, lost endorsements, and had appearances and shows canceled. One of her endorsements was the Squatty Potty. I don't know if she should be happy or sad that she lost that one, but
What is that?
that's you don't know about that? So you know so you know how you know how you normally sit on the toilet is like this, right? Well, according to science,
Oh,
that's
if
the
you like
wrong
lift
way.
your legs,
Yeah,
it's
your
like
legs are supposed to be up. It's kind of be like, yeah, it's gotta be kind of like a dog the way they shit.
Yeah.
So the Squatty Potty is just a stool that goes under your feet while you sit on the toilet
I
to
thought
give
it was
you
like
that
some
angle.
show.
No.
I'm saying this is
No.
weird. Like a weird woman's movement or something.
Griffin was quoted saying, "I'm a comic. I crossed the line, I moved the line, then I cross it. I went way too far. The image is too disturbing. I understand how it offends people. It wasn't funny. I get it. I beg for your forgiveness. I went too far. I made a mistake and I was wrong." Trump's son had this to say on Twitter: "Disgusting but not surprising. This is the left today. They consider this acceptable. Imagine a conservative did this to Obama as president of the United States." And I knew that would come up. I knew that would come up even before reading his tweet because I was thinking it in my head.
About what they did with Obama back in 08.
And I'm just like, personally, I don't see why this is a big deal. And I don't see why Obama would be a big deal. I don't see why Bush would be a big deal. All of these things existed. I realized, like, I noticed during my research that there were plenty of things about Obama. Plenty of, like, things, I forget what state or where it was, but they hung this big Obama, like, piñata type thing and beat the shit out of it.
They also hung one and
there was stuff with Bush, too.
Set him on fire.
Yep.
And they hung him.
What's that rock star's name?
Ted Nugent.
Ted Nugent. There you go.
I was thinking about it. It wasn't
Yeah, I was about to sing.
No, he's like
Stranglehold.
racist as fuck.
Yeah, it's, him saying that like Obama should suck on the end of his machine gun or something like that. But all of that's okay. But this picture of his head cut off is bad.
Well, I mean, I feel like it's because this is kind of gory in a sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like,
No one likes Kathy Griffin.
I like
Want to say that louder so she can hate her
No
life more?
one likes Kathy Griffin.
I feel like this is gory in a sense. It's his actual head.
Yeah.
Okay, so now to go with that, and I forgot to put in my show notes, or else I'd have pictures for you. So the band Guar has been doing that for years, apparently, and they're mad about it. They posted a video. They posted a video calling out Kathy Griffin for stealing their bit. They called it because apparently at concerts for years they've been killing politicians, like presidents specifically. So they have a head of Obama, they have a head of Hillary, and a head of Trump that they were using as shows, but while the election was going on. Now, part of me is thinking maybe it's because it was still the election and he wasn't president that people were okay with it, or the fact that nobody cares about Guar.
Yeah, it's probably the second one.
And I think they only made that video to kind of promote the fact that they're going to be on Warped Tour, because at the end of the video,
they are going to be on.
At the end of the video, he says that he's just like, if you want to get the real show, if you want to see us do this for real and not this fake stuff Kathy Griffin does, you catch us on Warped Tour. We're going to be on every showdown. I'm like, oh, this is just a plug, right? But to go even further, last November, apparently Marilyn Manson released a music video where he, right?
He.
I never know if I can call it a he or she. He cuts off Donald Trump's head, and it's way gory than what Kathy Griffin did.
Or what about the Snoop Dogg music video?
I don't know about that.
You didn't hear about that?
No.
The Snoop Dogg with Bad Bad Not Good?
No.
And like they kill Trump in the video?
Do they cut his head off?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
They just kill him though.
Oh, but so just staying on cutting heads off though, Marilyn Manson, it's like the body is on the ground, blood everywhere, and he has a knife in one hand and the head in the other hand, and the face is even chopped off. So it's just all the meat inside of there, and it's just like, but that's okay.
I think we expect shit like that from Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, I was saying, no one cares about him. It's the same thing. No one cares.
But who cares
It's
about
like,
Kathy Griffin?
Yeah, but you know what I think it comes down to? Like, when it comes to acts like War and Marilyn Manson and stuff like that kind of shit is expected. There's a wow factor.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like you go to a War show to see blood and all that other shit.
Stupid
and
costumes.
Stupid costumes. And it's the same thing with Marilyn Manson. It's like you go to see some fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Kathy Griffin is just like a comedian. Like, it's not her shtick to do something like as like politically serious, because that's a serious political thing.
as gory as he was saying.
Exactly, it's a serious political statement.
Mm-hmm.
It's also in the vein of ISIS. Like, you also got to take into consideration that between what happened with Obama and now, there's like the rise of ISIS, which I'm pretty sure they were there before that, but like they've risen to prominence in during Obama's administration, and because of the reporter getting beheaded and just that's all like the images. I don't know if you ever saw like the there was a video that came out not too long ago with ISIS children. You're talking about like 8-year-olds fucking cutting heads off and shit, and showing it as like a sign of pride and whatever. Like, this shit is.
I would want to see that, but okay.
I saw it on Facebook because everything always gets on Facebook, but like. You have all this shit, and then for a comedian to try to make a similar statement with a blank expression in the same way that ISIS does it for all their killings, like it's tasteless, and it's the same thing with like what they did with Obama. Like, that's tasteless too. That doesn't make that okay. Like, they're both not okay.
It's pointed out, it's against the law. Like,
it is,
legit against the law. Like,
really?
Yeah, like it's against the law to.
Isn't it like a death threat to the president in a sense? Yeah.
I heard like Secret Service and people were kind of breathing down her neck.
Oh yeah.
It's against the law to threaten the president. Like, it's legit.
Yeah, and then to like, I saw like the apology video. That shit felt disingenuous as fuck. Like, I just
on her
didn't.
part?
Yeah, on her part. I didn't believe
I didn't watch the video. I
thought it felt pretty like.
No,
I just keep seeing photos of her like all teared up and crying.
It was, well, the one I saw, she was just very, like, you know, I crossed the line. It's not like she, like, I don't know. Like, it just didn't feel like she was sorry. And then to add on top of that, there's video footage of her talking to the photographer, saying that they knew where they were going to get into some shit. Yeah. They knew. So it's like, I can't feel sorry for someone when you know what the fuck you're getting into.
I mean, I don't necessarily,
I'm not saying she deserves all the stuff that she got with, like, the cancellations or whatever, you know, because, I mean, at the end of the day, she has to eat and she has to feed herself and whoever's in her family. But, like, if you willingly know that you're going to cause trouble, then be ready to take on whatever happens.
But you don't necessarily know that you're gonna get that type of trouble. Like, I think the trouble that she thought she would run into is maybe, like, people who love Trump or just Trump supporters attacking her on Twitter or something like that.
But, like, you're
that's
public.
That's what I would expect.
But, like, you're a public figure, and you're making, you know, you're essentially making a death threat to the president of the United States of America. Mm-hmm. It would have been different if this was, again, before he was even elected. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It would have been a totally different story. Probably wouldn't have had as much coverage or traction. Yeah. But because of everything that's happening now, even with the whole Russia shit with Kami and all that other stuff, and just how everything falls in together, you just coming out of nowhere making a death threat to the president when he's under fire in all these other ways, it's just doesn't look good on your part.
I don't know. Personally, I don't see it as a death threat. I see how it could
I don't either, but it's the way it's perceived. It's the way it's perceived. I know she was just trying to make a political statement and trying to be edgy, and that fucking backfired on her.
I think it was a statement that went too far, and they could have done it any other way. But I don't see it as like necessarily a threat. But
you could have just added real Donald Trump, fuck you or whatever, and like, you know, you would have got your message across.
Wore a T-shirt that said "fuck Trump," and she was
Now, do we also, like, who's more to blame here? Is it Kathy that's more to blame here, or Tyler Shields?
The photographer? Yeah. I mean, the photographer's been known for doing that kind of shit. That's the whole thing. He's a known celebrity photographer, and he's known to be pushing that edge and all that other stuff. So I guess it's...
But why are we excusing people just because we expect it from them? Because you mentioned that even with Guar and Marilyn Manson, it's just like, just because we expect it from them doesn't mean we should excuse it. You know, if it offends you, or if it's something offensive, then they should be held accountable just as much as if it's a surprise.
I feel like it's not just the fact that we excuse it. It's just these people obviously have the fan base that likes this stuff.
Yeah.
And the people that's offensive by their stuff, don't fuck with them.
That's the whole thing. You can just, you don't have to go to Guar show. You don't have to
I won't.
See Marilyn Manson.
I won't. In conclusion, 2017 is the year of the ultra sensitive, and not even comedians are safe. Nothing is a joke anymore.
Safe spaces everywhere.
Thank you for watching. This has been Mixed Signals, the Blue Show, the Off Topic Tuesday show. And drop down in the comments. For a second in my head, I played drop down and get your eagle on, girl. Drop down in the comments and leave a comment. Let us know what you thought. Who's the worst comedian to offend people out of these two, and not these two, but those two that we were just talking about. And we'll see you next week. Peace out.